Welcome to Nashville Superspeedway, qualifying underway for the SIDECAR Sunday Gen 6 Cup Series, part of the Sidewinder Racing Leagues. Check them all out at dgsracing.com. Click that big red snake to get to our Discord, and you can sign up to run any of these races with us. Love to have you be part of our community. See Ian Moncho's headed out. Downton Legger Track is Scripture, Daniel Llewellyn all on their first time lap. Llewellyn, the first one to get a lap down, and Scripture jumps above him immediately. Daniel could be the first one to get his qualifying done. It's right around for him on lap 2. Been working hard in there. Hustle that car around the track. Brings out a tricky turn number 4 back to the start-finish line, and Daniel, first car to complete the run, sits down in third. Travis Scripture, top of the charts with a 30.114. Best lap was the first lap. Carl Rotman's going to swap ends there. And Montrose jumps up to second. Malcolm Legger clocks in fifth in his second lap. Cliff Mullins is rolling, as is Casey Graves. Jimmy Shearer has jumped out to the pit lane, along with the 4 of Lucas Weitzman. Sorry if I'm a little quiet tonight. Don't have a whole lot of strength after fighting off something. Feeling like shit. We're gonna do our best. Mullins down the backstretch. Script says he got throttle happy. Mullins out of 4 to complete his first one. .202 puts him second behind Travis Scripture at the moment. Casey Graves, Jeremy Shearer on track. Graves puts down a 30.12. Drop him to second. Watch a 37 come out of turn 4. See if he can improve on that 30.202. Goes 30.132. Moves him closer, but stays third. Switch over to this beautiful patriotic machine for Casey Graves. Jeremy Shearer clocks in 7th. Graves trying to improve on a 1-2 forward. He goes slower with a 3.75. He'll remain second. Jimmy Shearer, this number 15 forward. First lap put him at a 30.63. Needs to improve a couple of tenths just to move up one spot. See what he can do. 30.461. I think he does move up over Daniel Llewellyn. Nice little jump there. Shearer slots in 6th. That will give us a Lucas Weitzman to look at once everyone gets back to the pit lane. As Graves and Mullins return to their pits. Shearer's going to join them. Leaves us 5 cars to qualify. Plenty of time to do it. They could all have their own minute if they wanted to. 4 of Lucas Weitzman sitting on the pit lane. See when he decides to roll. Lucas should just sit ready to race. You want to keep the pole? We'll see. And Dalton Hayes, Dave Weitzman, Russ Harrell, Travis Martin, all registered and waiting to see if they get out for a qualifying effort. I'll go when I'm ready. It's the only time I'll have a chance to happen. I mean, we'll see. I think he got plenty of speed script. Gee. Thank you. Have food brought to me. And nuggies and fries. You got 4 minutes to sit here and eat them because, oh, Travis Martin's on track. There we go. Somebody to watch. Ghost Man headed out. Martin on his first time of 2. The first races I ever ran for this guy was at the other Nashville short track. Random fact. First lap posted is a 30.8. For some reason didn't go through. Must have rushed the wall somewhere. Cat just scared me. Wasn't expecting a cold tail in my leg. Second lap for Martin, he put down a 30.7, but it doesn't register. Not sure what that's about. Out of 3 and 4 comes the Busch Light forward for Lucas Hoitzma. Thanks. Appreciate it, honey. Swapped over we are. Looking nice and tidy for Lucas. About as confused as I can be. I saw Travis Martin put 2 laps in and it didn't do anything. Lucas just put 2 laps in and it didn't do anything. Dalton's heading out there. We'll see if Dalton can put a lap in without it being weird. Both laps script? Yeah, but neither lap counted. That's where I'm confused. National Fallen Firefighter Foundation Chevrolet for Dalton Hayes. His lap goes in, goes to 8. So I'm guessing Travis and Lucas both brushed the wall in their laps. Dalton's second lap, 30.429, moves him up to 5th. Nice pickup there. Gains 3 spots between lap 1 and lap 2. Well done, Dalton. And that is the end of qualifying. Dalton Hayes jumping up there. Well, all right. Travis Scripture, your pole winner. Congratulations, Travis.
Congrats on the pole, Travis.
There you go.
Thank you. Hell's freezing over.
See if we can get a chat with him while we wait for him to get out on track. Track down Mr. Travis Scripture. Well, I don't see him. Can't talk. To see Carl, Ian, Cliff, Cher, Martin, Becca Rowdy. Let Becca Rowdy do the interview. And he's on track. Still don't have him in chat though. Alright, y'all, good luck. Small field should be nice, clean, and green. Hope you'll have some fun. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate you and have fun. Yeah. Run through our starting lineups here real quick. Now everyone's out there. Travis Scripture's your pole sitter in the number 18. P1 Racing Toyota. Casey Graves in the Low Drag Esports Toyota with True Speed starts in second. Cliff Mullins, Curly's Guns and More, AC Racing Graphics Chevy starts in the third spot. Ian Montrose C2X Chevrolet starts in fourth. Dalton Hayes, Fire Hero National Fallen Fighter Foundation Chevrolet starts in the fifth spot. Carl Rotman in the Sociable Ford starts in sixth. Jeremy Scherer has the Ford Performance Mustang starting in the seventh spot. Daniel Wallen starting eighth in the number 32 712 Brake Chevy. Jonathan Legger in the Big C's Diecast Chevrolet starting in the ninth spot. Lucas Weissman, the Busch Light Ford, starting 10th after having issues in qualifying. Travis Martin in the Ghostman Ford starts in 11th. He also had issues qualifying, tagged the wall a couple times. Dave Hoytsman at 79. He'll start in 12th spot. And Russ Harold will roll off 13th. So we have 13 cars here for you for a 188 lap event around the Nashville Superspeedway. Hopefully a lot of our drivers are out watching the NASCAR race. It happens sometimes where it lines up and they land together. Thanks everybody for coming out. Appreciate you. Let's get this thing underway. A lot of tire spin. Travis Scripture immediately goes into the outside lane. They're wrecking Carl Rotman into the outside wall. Just like that.
I need a black clear. I got to drive through, passing on the inside.
Stay green.
Well, you shouldn't have fucking did it.
Daniel. Pole sitter spins the tires and crashes here at the start.
I had to do my best Cletus impression.
Was most unfortunate. Travis Scripture, our pole sitter, in the restart zone. Saw a little wiggle, then a bigger wiggle. And Cliff gets into him, gets him into Ian, and Carl Rotman, Daniel Wallen all get in the outside wall. Tire spin on the start of the race, catching out pole sitter Travis Scripture. Obviously, a bunch of front end damage to that car. Caught up to the pace car. Cliff's going to take a wide line into the pit lead. We'll see who pits, who stays out. I'm sure we'll see guys taking damage repair that need to. May see some other guys top off the fuel tank. Did not expect a caution that fast. Field this small, I didn't think we'd have any. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Kind of how it went. Montrose topped off the tank, as did Dave Hoytsma. Cliff.
Not sorry anymore.
15 seconds. I hope that was just pulling out the fenders.
You didn't wreck me. Yet.
Yet. Scripture and Rotman extended stays as they got to repair those cars. And they got into each other and the wall pretty hard.
I'm going to take the top here.
Raise to the top. Hayes will start on the inside. Graves taping top Could help out Lucas Weitzman restarting in the 4th spot. As they work together, they're on the same team. The Lucas Weitzman Motorsports. Scripture able to get back out and stay on a lead lap. See how much that car is going to be affected by all that. Still very obviously some left front damage on that car. Very critical area for downforce. It's going to be tough. Carl's still getting that one fixed up. Half a lap away from going back green. Hopefully we won't see wheel spin on the restart. Careful with the wheel spin. Pace car heads off. We're going to try to get this thing going once again. Graves gets a nice launch on the top. It's like just about everybody able to keep the cars under control this time. Get this thing going. Cliff Mullins working his way past Russ Harrold. Travis Martin in a battle. Teammate Jeremy Scherer, a couple of Fords duking it out. Martin gets clear. Russ Harrold all the way up at the wall. I believe the 19 just tagged the fence. And Montrose and Martin. Montrose got big wiggle going through the tri-oval. And he's tight pushing up the hill. Jonathan Legger's all the way up by the fence. In the fence, as you heard the 28 smack the wall there. Montrose trying to work over the Ghost Man. Jonathan Legger hit the wall so hard he's picked up a meatball in the 28 car. 28's going to have to come down and get a repair on that machine. Top 3 have kind of broken away from this as Montrose finally clears Martin. Now Mullins will work his way in there. Alright, things kind of singled out now. Casey Graves is your leader over Lucas Weitzman. Dalton Hayes is your top 3. You have Montrose, Martin, Mullins, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Jeremy Scherer, down the wall, and Dave Weitzman. Then our pole sitter, Travis Scripture, back in 10th. Russ Harrold, 11th. Jonathan Legger, 12th. And Carl Rotman, 13th. Legger on the pit lane. Getting repairs made for that meatball. Carl Rotman now takes over that 12th spot. 1 lap down for the sociable Ford. Graves, Weitzman, Hayes. And then the Montrose, Martin, and Mullins. Hang out here with this 4th, 5th, and 6th group. They've been battling pretty tight. Steve Legger got his damage cleared, but he has lost 2 laps in that number 28. Dave starting to open up a little bit of a gap over Weitzman. Not a lot. 3/10. Let's check on our biggest movers so far. This way, up 8 after that, getting a good qualifying spot in. All the way up to second. Travis Martin started back there with him. He's up into the top 5. And Travis Scripture, our pole sitter, struggling. He's falling down to 10th after spinning the tires on the very start of the race. Causing our only caution so far. Martin must have got really wide coming out of turn number 4. Oh, Cliff Mullins to get by. Let's see what happened. Oh, he did. Way up out of the groove on corner exit. Did the 63. Opened the door for Cliff Mullins, and Mullins jumps up into the top 5. Graves continues to lead. So you got the wall there going across that trioval. Dave Hoytsman, Daniel Llewellyn. That's a battle for 8. Ian Montrose working on Dalton Hayes. C2X teammates trading places there. Jimmy Shear getting around Travis Martin. Daddy Dave going to go around Travis Martin. Travis suddenly struggling here. Martin's going to bring it into the pit lane. 63. Unexpected pit stop here. Green flag conditions. Lap 18. 10% of the way into the race. Travis Martin rolling his forward to the pit lane. Dave Hoytsman going by Jeremy Shearer. Dave up to 6th. What's going on with the Ghost Man forward? If he smacked the wall or what? Casey Graves has a mirror full of Lucas Hoytsma right now. It looks like the Ghost Man's car may have retired from the event, leaving us 12 cars to contend the other 90% of the race. Casey Graves going around to lead another lap. Casey and Lucas 1 and 2. See if we have any other battles. You got Jimmy Shearer and Daniel Llewellyn, 7th and 8th contending. Travis Martin's car has reappeared. You'll race the road courses? That'll be fun. Closest battle on track right now is this lead battle. Weitzman all over the back of Casey Graves here. Graves, of course, driving for Lucas Weitzman Motorsports. Trying to defend from the boss here. Like at the line, Lucas Weitzman was going to lead that lap, and Lucas gets himself a bonus point for the season. Lucas staying way away, trying not to get side drafted down the straightaway there. That was pretty extreme. Dalton Hayes must have pushed his tires early. He was keeping up with the top two. Now he's falling back. Ian Montrose, though, is reeling him in. Montrose has decided to come join the top two. Here comes Cliff Mullins, C2X. Third, fourth, and fifth right now. Montrose just lightly brushed the wall coming out of four. He'll be fine. Yeah, the Montrose's scheme is nice. It's usually a lot more chrome. I think he stuck a different car on this car and it didn't quite line up. I think it's the Xfinity car. He's out there making do. Mullins reeling in Montrose for third. You know, Casey Graves trying not to let Lucas get away. This is kind of how I expected the race to go, not so much what happened at the start. See how tire strategy plays out and see if we can get into some green flag stops. Lucas is out front. He told us we could interview him when it's green flags, so we're going to do that. Except he's not in the Discord. Never mind. Our options are Carl Rattman in 11th, Cliff Mullins in 4th, Ian Montrose in 3rd, Jimmy Sherry 7th, Travis Martin 13th. Those are our drivers that we can talk to. Well, we were going to talk to Lucas. It's difficult when he's not there. The top two are separated by 3/10. The next two are separated by 2/10. Montrose starting to fall off the top two a little bit, though. Into the clutches of teammate Cliff Mullins in a 37. Montrose getting wide on exit, opening up the door for Cliff Mullins. Cliff says, thank you very much. I'll go through here. Move Cliff up to third. Battle for 8th. Travis Scripture and Daniel Llewellyn. Scripture in the purple Toyota able to clear Daniel. Script up to 8th. Back to the top two, being the tightest battle on track. Alright, dinner's complete. I don't have to mute the mic so much anymore. I wanted to eat it while it was still warm, and now a lot going on. This continues to be the closest battle on track between Hoytsma and Graves. Top two coming to complete lap 35. Dalton Hayes starting to reel Ian Montrose back in. See both of them sliding the back in, coming out of two. And Carl Rutman just got the grass. Oh, on the pit lane, bringing that damaged car. See what happened to Carl. I'm seeing people with 4X, so I don't know where all that damage came from. So he got it from the start. That's where the incident point comes from, getting in the grass there. I don't know what happened to Carl. Martin's car has again retired from the race. Jonathan Legger, Big C's diecast machine, sitting in 11th, 2 laps down. Carl Rotman on the pit lane, 3 laps down. Russ Harold, NASCAR lead lap 19th. Machine is in 10th. Daniel Llewellyn running in 9th. About 13 seconds behind Scripture. Or behind the leader. 1.5 behind Scripture. Montrose and Hayes now. Closest battle on track. Right along with Dalton Hayes. Check out the action. Report from Travis Martin Camp was that his pedals messed up and then knew there was no way to catch back up. 54 laps to go till we hit halfway and give out points to the top 10. Russ Harold on and off the pit lane. car rejoins the race after pitting. It's now 2 laps down. Daniel Wallen on the pit lane now. He's going to go 1 lap down and then probably 2 eventually. We'll watch the track in the background and see if we see the leader. We don't yet. Where is Lucas? There he is. Just now passing pit entrance. Daniel pit exit, trying to get up to speed. See if he stays 1 lap down. That'd be beneficial if the caution comes out. Then he can get the wave around back to the lead lap. And you see Neo getting out of the way of the leader. Legger will now go 3 laps down. See if anyone pits. Lucas still out in front. Casey Graves in second. He'll stay out. Rollins, Montrose, Hayes all continue around. Dave stays out in 6th. Here comes Russ Harold on those fresh tires. He's going to fly by some of these guys. Some of the fall-offs close to 4 seconds. Lucas not as bad. His best lap was a 30.5. His last was a 32. So he's lost a second and a half over the run. Keith Graves 2 seconds. A fall off for that machine. Nearly 2 seconds for Cliff. Similar story for Ian Montrose. We check out all the timing and scoring. Montrose is about 1.7 off of his best lap. Dalton Hayes, he's about 1.8 off of his best lap. Patty Dave, 2 full seconds off of his. Scherer, 2 seconds off. Scripture, 2.3 seconds off. Daniel came down, took fresh tires, fuel, back out there. 31.004 on his last lap. See how his strategy plays out with the rest of the field. Russ Harold moving past Jeremy Scherer, not for position, but cars passing each other is fun to watch. Russ Harold just pulling away from Jeremy Scherer. That's what those fresh tires look like. Russ is lapping at a 31.2. Last lap for Scherer was a 32.5, now 33, so a second and a half speed differential between those 2 cars. Travis Scripture brings the 18 to the pit lane. Let's get another one of our contenders on the pit lane. Back in on Dalton and Ian. Not much has changed there. Check in on Travis's pit. All the way at the end is the pole sitter. That's not the one I want. That's not the one I want. There we go. Watch where Scripture blends in here. You see Daniel going by. Daniel's going to get ahead of him easily. Daniel 6 laps earlier on the pit stop. And you see what that opens up on the track. Daniel is on the backstretch. My goodness. That gap is huge. Puts them over 6 seconds, almost 7 seconds ahead. Scripture only 1 lap down. Stays ahead of Lucas in the background there.
pitting.
Jeremy Scherer announcing his intentions. And here he comes to the pit lane, peels off the track. Lap number 50.
Oh, on pit man.
Second place, Casey Graves telling the leader. He's about to hit the pit lane. Lucas going to stay out and run the tank. Casey comes down on lap 50. Turns second place over to Cliff Mullins. Sharon Casey Graves hit the pit lane. That leaves 5 cars still to pit, plus Jonathan Legger, who's had the issues. Actually, he's on the pit lane now. He is leaving, so he'll be cycled through as well. Daniela Wallet passing the pitting Jeremy Scher's. Scher coming out of the pit lane just now. Casey Graves getting the tire change. 4 tires and fuel going in there, and Lucas Hoytsma, the race leader, on the pit lane in the 4. Dave Hoytsma stays out. Cliff Mullins pits. Ian Montrose pits. Dalton Hayes pits. So C2X all pit. That leaves Daddy Dave the last one. Casey Graves coming out right in front of Dave. Casey will stay on the lead lap. Not even go a lap down. And Lucas heading out. Dave's coming in. Race leader Dave Hoytsma on the pit lane. See where Lucas and Graves blend. Lucas will get out there ahead of the 01. That gap's going to look like about 1.3 seconds between the two of them. Check back on that in a minute as we see Daddy Dave on the pit lane. Lucas passing the entrance. The lead will be Lucas's in a very short time. And there you go. Lucas Hoytsma, the 4, back to the race lead. Casey Graves resumes running second. Back here, Daniel Llewellyn, he was 4th. And now retakes 4th as goes by Dave Hoytsma on the pit lane. That's after Daniel took the early pit stop. The next 5 cars behind Daniel Llewellyn all have fresher tires, so over the course of the run, that could come back to bite him. See how it plays out for the 32 teams. They work their way past Russ Harold. Russ 1 lap down. The only car 1 lap down, running 10th. Carl Rattman out of the race in 12th. Travis Martin out in 13th. We've lost 2 contenders. Montrose working his way past Daniel Llewellyn to try and take over 4th. He'll get that move done. Dalton Hayes working past the lap machine of Russ Harold. He'll be the next one to try and get Daniel Llewellyn. That would be for 5th. Go on board and watch how he can run him down. It's an 11 lap difference in tires. Dalton's running almost a full second faster than Daniel already. Gets right up under the back bumper of Daniel Llewellyn. Gets him up out of the groove with the air. Dalton gets clear of Daniel Llewellyn. Takes over the 5th spot. Next one for Daniel to fall to would be Travis Scripture. Travis is 3.5 seconds behind him. He doesn't have that much newer tire either. Scripture crosses the line. We'll have a good indication. 6 laps difference between the tires. 3.5 seconds to catch him. Dalton and Ian 4th and 5th. Mullins up the road in 3rd. Casey Graves 1.8 back of Lucas Hoytsma. Closest battle is Dalton Hayes and Ian Montrose 4th and 5th. Dalton on same tires as Ian Montrose. They're level. Dave Hoytsma starting to reel in Travis Scripture for 7th. Has to battle his way around Neo first. Neo having a blink. Dave gets by. Now he has a half second to make up on that purple machine of Travis Scriptures. He also passes the lap car of Russ Harold. So both the lappers are near each other. Dave slowly but surely reeling in Travis Scripture. Travis running about a lane off the bottom. Dave running a couple feet off the bottom. A real tree forward to the inside of the 18 Scripture machine, and Dave Hoytsma moves up to 7th. Scripture drops back to 8th. Dave now has 1.7 seconds to try and run down Daniel Llewellyn, and 12 lap fresher tires than Daniel. Dalton and Ian, still about the same gap. Here goes Dave on Daniel. Daniel left him plenty of room, and Dave moves up into the 6th spot, 5.5 seconds behind Dalton Hayes. Now Scripture and Llewellyn are nearing a battle, 7/10 apart. And Scripture in the purple 18. And there's Daniel up ahead. Sounds like the car is bouncing on that. I'm gonna guess left front will probably be kind of lifting a bit. You hear it in 1 and 2 end, but 3 and 4 it sounded like the left front was a basketball just bouncing off the track. Sounded much more smooth and under control that time, and probably why he closed in so much on Daniel. So let's see, significant left front damage. He didn't want to fix it under green, so he carried on out there in the 18. Can't be helped with the handling of that race car at all. Scripture reeling in Daniel Llewellyn. He's down under 3/10. Daniel's 32, excuse me. Houston being 23. It's been 24 laps since Daniel pit. Everyone else is about 12 to 15. Exceptions to that being Travis Scripture, who's 18, and Russ Harold, who's 25. Travis Scripture with the race EPI on there. API and VRS, that's odd. Do we have the move here? Travis Scripture out of turn 4. Looking for that 7th spot on Daniel. Roughly 1/3 of the way through this race. Scripture putting moves on Daniel Llewellyn, trying to take 7th away. Ooh, Daniel sagging the wall and corner exit ever so lightly. Travis Scripture completes the pass, and Daniel Llewellyn drops to 8th. The next closest battle is Cliff Mullins, Ian Montrose. Give you a feel for how spread out things are getting. Closing in on halfway in about 25 laps time. Jeremy Scherer has Neo between himself and Daniel Llewellyn. Neo not in position, but Daniel will be. Daniel brushes the wall on entry. Scherer makes his way past Legger. Scherer setting him up on the inside, going into turn number 3. Drops to the bottom. And about a couple feet off that yellow line. Oof, they got very close to corner exit as Daniel pinched him a little bit on exit. It's going to let Daniel stay in the fight here. Stays throttled up, wants to hold on to that 8th spot if he can. Side by side, down the backstretch we go. This battle for the 8th spot between the 32 and 15. Llewellyn in the 32, 15 is Jeremy Scherer. 10 tenths versus low drag. Like Scherer just about has it cleared. Brings it up on exit, and he will take over the 8th spot officially as he gets clear. Montrose still reeling in Cliff Mullins. It's down under a half second. On board the one machine. They're both catching a Russ Harold. Russ 2 laps down. And that car getting eaten up on that right front. I don't know why, but the engines are so relaxing. Russ Harold, meanwhile, has picked up a meatball. '19 limping around, smacked the outside wall pretty obviously. He will bring that damaged machine to the pit lane and have to fix that up with the meatball. Hopefully it's not too long and he can get back out there. Race leader Lucas Hoisman now by 2.8 seconds over Casey Graves. It's not far away from catching Daniel in 9th. Daniel 2 cars up the road. Lucas has to make his way by lap machine. Jonathan Legger first. Montrose still reeling in Cliff Mullins. Getting closer and closer. 25 laps into the run for most of these guys as far as the pit cycle goes. See if Ian can find a way to set up Cliff Mullins. They're on equal strategy. It's all of C2X pit together. Dalton's lost 3.7 seconds to these two. Ian seems to roll the corner a little bit better. Especially center to center off. He's getting tight. Car drifted into the wall. Showing the nose, Cliff leaves it open. Do we get a swap here? For the third spot, teammates. Montrose and Mullins at C2X, chance to extreme. Lap 81 of 188. Closing in on halfway quickly. Russ Harold's still fixing that machine up on the pit lane. It's currently gone 8 laps down. Daniel Llewellyn on the pit lane. 39 laps was how far Daniel went on that last run. He brings his 32 car to the pit lane. Daniel must have forgot to check tires or something. And he's fierce. Very fierce. What's going on with 32? Two may have retired from the race. I don't see him in session right now. Mullins and Montrose battling for that third spot. The rear tires sliding on that 37 car. Don't concern yourself with the weird looking Camaro up ahead. It's a Xfinity car stamped on a Cup car or something like that. Maybe even a next gen Cup stamped on a Cup car. It's got some weird stuff going on. Report from Low Drag is the 32 guy got bored. There you go. Jeremy Scher has gone 1 lap down. You see the leader straight ahead of him. Also see Travis Scripture not too far up the road. Cliff catches a bit of the apron. That's not going to help that much. Must be getting tight late in the run. Travis Scripture probably the next car to pit based on lap count.
I don't know whether to say thank you, but I will.
Oh my god. Matt says the only reason he's still here is because he has chicks in front of him and it tastes good. And I am making sure we say that in the most awkward way possible. Thanks to Daniel Llewellyn's generosity, Neo's up to 9th. Lucas continues the lead now by 4 seconds. Over this man, Casey Graves. Casey's got 3 seconds over Ian Montrose. Montrose has Cliff Mullins right behind him. They've got 4.5 seconds over teammate Dalton Hayes. He's got 4 over Daddy Dave in 6th. Then there's 11 seconds back to Travis Scripture, who's about to go a lap down. Pit stop should be any minute now. Most of them will probably try to make it to halfway before pitting. So they did make it to 50. So they should probably make it to 100 if they wanted to run the tank out. But I'm sure getting past halfway is goal number 1. And then the pit cycle. Scherer could pit now and would stay 8th. It wouldn't even matter. But he is kind of gaining on Travis Scripture a little.
Thank you.
Placement gets past the 18 of script.
Oh, yeah.
Leading lap number 92. And 93. Lucas won the final lap of the first half of the race. Points going out the end of this lap. Russ Harold has cleared his meatball. So 19 can rejoin the party. 9 minutes stay in the box. Out of turn number 4, Lucas Hoyt going to come by and pick up the stage win. And it might be a while
this time.
before this fills in. Casey picks up 9 points. Ian will pick up 8. Cliff Mullins 7. Dalton Hayes across the line picks up 6 points at halfway. Daddy Dave going to come across and pick up some points. 5 for Dave. Scripture be the next one, but he's on the pit lane, so that's going to let Scherer get by, and he'll come by and pick up 4 points. Scherer stealing a point there by Scripture pitting. Sure, Scripture will eventually roll across the line. And there you go, he picks up the 3 points. Jonathan Legger will take 2 points. Daniel Llewellyn will get the final point. Cliff Mullins, Travis Scripture on the pit lane. As they are fully on that 3-stop strategy. Made it to halfway. 1 more stop to go for these guys. Lucas continues to lead in the 712 brakes. Busch Light forward. Looking for any
15
battle.
pitting.
Any battle at all. Closest one is Montrose and Casey Graves, second and third. 3 seconds apart. Cher brings it down to the pit lane. Also Casey Graves and Ian Montrose, first and third on the pit lane. Now Lucas leads Dalton Hayes, 13 seconds. Cher, Montrose, Graves on the pit lane. Mullins already pitted. We'll see where that cycles the 37 around. He's going to duck to the inside of teammate Dalton Hayes. 1 car left for Mullins to unlap himself. Dave Hoytsville on the pit lane. And here comes race leader Lucas. Lap 100 for the number 4 car. See how Dalton Hayes plays into this. He's going to pit now. That'll complete our pit cycle, other than if Daniel Mullen was still out on track. And yes, Daniel's decided he's not bored anymore. Daniel coming back out. While Hayes getting to his boxes, Lucas pulled away. Let's see where Cliff ends up compared to Lucas. Obviously, Lucas will have the fresher tires by 5 laps. And he's still going to have a 3-second advantage-ish when he comes out here. 2.5? Alright, 2.5 going into the corner, and that's where Lucas is going to start pulling away again. So 2.5 seconds to drop 2 momentarily. Casey Graves saw him brush the wall there. He's going to have to get up there and pass Cliff Mullins about 1.5 seconds back. 3-lap fresher tires for the Casey Graves machine. And that is the closest battle on track. Ian Montrose not too far behind Casey Graves. The second, third, and fourth, Mullins, Graves, and Montrose. Close proximity. Jeremy Sure may just tag the wall. 15 car. Daniel Llewellyn. Didn't hit one another. I think Sure just tagged the wall, giving room. On board the 0-1 machine of Casey Graves, chasing down Cliff Mullins up ahead. Here I'm working his rear tires, coming off of turn number 2, trying to keep the car straight and keep the power down at the same time. Go Cliff, go. He's got 3-lap older tires on Casey. Graves will sweep the bottom. Side by side down the backstretch they go here at Nashville Superspeedway. Cliff might get tough on that outside. He don't want to make it easy. I think Casey Graves will have him here. Cliff heading to that wall very quickly, but he hangs in there. Thought he'd have to lift on exit there. Graves completes the pass. Casey up to P2. Cliff slots in P3. Music City 250. Next battle is Montrose and Mullins, and Montrose does have slightly fresher tires than Cliff by about 3 laps. Not a huge deal, but he is lapping a couple tenths quicker. See if Ian can keep that up and get on up there. Daniel is about to lose his spot, and I think that's why he suddenly got back out there. He's on the same lap right now as Russ Harold. It's quiet race chattery so far. Just relaxing Sunday race here. Old school NASCAR style. Not to say this is boring, but it's easy to take a nap too if you get my drift. Just the engine noise is just relaxing and nobody's being a little prick on the radio. It's nice. The last lap, Ian was almost half a second faster. Montrose to the inside and into turn number 1 will clear Cliff Mullins. Ian takes over that 3rd spot. Cliff slots back to 4th. Now we'll keep tabs on Casey Graves and Ian Montrose. As even with the pass last lap, Montrose was faster than Graves. Now they're 1.0 apart. Last time around, Montrose still quicker than Graves. On the early end of the run, Graves could be saving a bit, Montrose pushing maybe. Never know who's using what for their strategy at the moment. And Daniel right behind Cliff. Had some run-ins in the spring. Cliff's car got a little loose there. I don't know if it was because Daniel's right behind him or what, but got a bit out of shape. I don't know if he's messing with him or what. Plenty of room on corner exit. He's still really in Casey Graves. Not as quickly as he was, but it's a tenth faster the last lap. And the Wallen clears Mullins. Not that that was for position, but those curious in that battle. Travis Scripture running 7th. Dave still in the lead lap in 6th. Where he doesn't compare to Lucas. Scripture a lap down, Scherer a lap down, Legger 5 laps down, Wallen 19, Russ Harold 20. Out of the race, Rotman 12th, Martin 13th. Lap starting to wind down here in Nashville. 115 complete. Leaves us roughly 71, 72 to go. Matt talking about this is so nice with all the quietness and not all the stupid bullshit. It is nice. It's a nice change of pace. I know from an entertainment standpoint, you're not getting the drama, but I kind of dig it. I'm sick of the drama. Real sick of it. It's nice. It's nice and quiet. Ian. Still chipping away at Casey Graves. It's down to 6/10. Last time by, though, he was only a few thousandths quicker. Might have stabilized a little bit. Both of them catching Russ Harold. Make their way past the wounded 19. Last lap, Montrose was still a 10th quicker. Slowly chipping away at that 0-1 True Speed Toyota's lead. They pit on the same lap 19 laps ago. Lucas enjoys a 6.5 second lead. I was thinking the same thing too, Hunter. I didn't want to spoil the ending though. Some debris off of 4. Raindrops in 1. Dump truck in 2. That's probably someone who burned up the right front. I think about 5 laps is all I got left. All right, 126. Keep an eye on it. He was there. See how Casey backs up that entry just a little bit more, and Ian pushes it a little bit harder. Man, he just torched that right front right there. I heard him slide it up the track while he was stuck right up behind him. Oof. Ain't no way this is gonna be a long-term move by the one. I think he's just having some fun. Decent gap on Cliff. Oh, Casey brushes a wall coming out of 4. That'll give Ian the position for now. We'll see if he can hang on to it over the course of the next 24-ish laps before they open up the window for the final stop. Really, that's only about 10 laps away. I guess we should say 15 to be safe before that final window opens, and then it's a game of who comes down when. Weitzman enjoys a 7.5 second lead over Ian Montrose and Casey Graves. Second and third on your screen. Purple car behind. Travis Scripture, first car lap down in 7th. Russ Harold on and off the pit lane. 19 car slaps on a set of fresh tires. We'll see how that plays out with Daniel Llewellyn. From here, Russ will have to pit again. Daniel probably wants to go until he's in the window to make the final stop. Music City 250 presented by our friends at Evers Fever Podcast. Haven't quite got their podcast going yet, but they are going to be soon. Soon, TM. Shout out our buddy Ethan. It's possible Casey burned his up trying to catch Lucas. Dave just got off track. What happened to Dave? Oh, he got a little out of shape coming out of the corner and went to a mow the grass mode. Saved the race car though, didn't hit anything hard. hate being behind Lucas Whitesell. It happens to a lot of people in a lot of places. You always start your shit behind him because you're trying to catch him and stay with him. Guy's an alien. It's a pleasure to watch him race though. He might make the show a little boring, but if you ever just ride along with it, just listen. Listen. Promoter's yellow. If you listen, he does things differently than a lot of people do. And it's so hard to replicate. Like, I know what he's doing in my head. I can't do it. I can't tell myself to do it. In my head, I know what I'm supposed to do. I just can't do it. Just listen to his input. His one problem is he doesn't roll the center. Only when you're behind him on a short track. Center cornering speed, though, is a lot of tire saving method. He tends to enter low like you're supposed to. You know, turn in early for tire saving. You don't want to turn in late and arc it. Burns the right front off. But right there, on corner entry, listen to his throttle. He doesn't jump completely out of it unless he's clutching. And that keeps some rotation in the axle. And it helps him turn. See that smooth? It's a smooth deceleration. It's not jerky. Like a lot of people just suddenly jump off the pedal and onto the brake or something like that. He's much smoother, much more deliberate. I have a really hard time with that. My brain says get off the gas, you know. So like I know how he kicks my ass. I just can't fix it. It would take so much coaching to change how I drive, and I don't know. I'd rather broadcast. I'd rather talk to you guys and have fun than torture myself to make myself better, you know? Yeah, Casey has burned up that right front a little bit. You saw him wash up there. Woo! And as a result, burnt up the right rear. That's a hell of a save coming out of turn 4 there by Casey. Yeah, road racing is another one where you want to feed some throttle to it in the corner, but it's just hard to make your brain think that. You're like, slow down, that means braking, not gas, you know? Gotta reprogram the brain a little bit. Be smoother on deceleration. Casey and Ian still the closest battle by a wide margin. They're a half second apart. The next closest battle is 3 seconds apart, which is Cliff Mullins to Casey Graves. Lucas around Russ Harold. Russ has fresher tires, so I think Russ has caught Lucas actually. Russ and Lucas did have a run-in. Hopefully we don't see a repeat. Russ didn't do it on purpose, but he was trying to let Lucas by, and in doing so didn't hold his line as a lapper, and Lucas had already made a move. Took out the 19 and the 4's race cars in that one. Also Quinn Newton caught up in that, unfortunately. Quinn took a provisional tonight. Hopefully Quinn's doing good. Happy birthday Cody Brown, by the way. Cody's birthday today, June 1st. Also happy birthday Sidewinder. 5 years. 5 years for Sidewinder today. Back to our first race in the very first season of the ARCA car. It was June 1st, 2020. 5 years of dealing with you awesome fuckers. Appreciate you guys being a part of our community. Thank you so much. Alright, windows open. I believe from here to the end, you could pit and make it. Some guys won't want to go that long on a set of tires, but that window is open. Probably be, I don't know, 7 laps if you're going to cut it in half. 7 or 8. So I got Montrose and Graves. They pit at the exact same time last time. 1 or 2 lap difference in the pit strategy. She could make all the difference in this second place battle. Lucas has 8-second lead. He can do pretty much whatever he wants. While we got you here, it is the first day of June. That is opening up our 1-month challenge. We're going to try to stream every day, at least a little bit. Daniel is what fucking, and I don't know why. Anyway, back to our talk. Daniel interrupted. Our 1-month challenge. We're trying to stream at least a little bit every single day for an entire month, because it's the month of June, and June is a big month for us because of our friends Beta XP, our moderator, and a very close friend. Beta unfortunately lost his brother to suicide, so the entire month of June we dedicate to Charlie's memory. So we have Charlie for Life, doing a big old fundraiser. We're trying to raise $2,000 as a Twitch community for the Charlie for Life, and that proceeds you see on screen goes to an official charity that we feel strongly about. It's helped not only a few members of our community, but also a couple of close friends of ours. So I don't want to divulge people's lives too much, and but things that I know behind the scenes that we're not allowed to talk about on stream. It's helped a lot of people, so make sure at your very least to head on over there and check out that charity. It's very worthwhile, and if you need any resources or help with the mental health and men's mental health, especially in the month of June, make sure you check out that place. It's a good place for resources, and we definitely want you to stick around because you guys matter. And yeah, 48 laps to go in this race. Any donos put on that link that pops up randomly in chat. It's a Tiltify thing. That goes to that link at the bottom, and that's not just from our stream, that's from all the connected streams to this event. So anytime anyone donates to it on any of the Twitch channels, you will see it pop up there on that little bar. So you see we've already got $40, and it's the first day of it. We'll be running it all June long till June 30th. Hope you guys can be part of it in some kind of way. We appreciate you listening to my spiel while we got you here for the race. Lucas now by 7 seconds over Ian Montrose. Ian still has Casey Graves just in his rear view mirror. It's another 4 seconds back to Cliff Mullins. Cliff has 8 seconds over teammate Dalton Hayes. Dalton's got 6 seconds over Dave. And Dave's got 15 over Travis Scripture. Scripture is now the first car 1 lap down in 7th. And as I say that, Daddy Dave goes laps down to his son Lucas. So Lucas slapping his dad. And Jonathan Legger had an issue somewhere along the way. Let's see if we can track down what happened to the 28. Or just a pit stop. It shows on my screen he may have crashed. We had to take a look. Just a pit stop for the 28 team. And speaking of pit stops, Cliff Mullins is the first of our lead lap cars to come down for the final service. We'll go 45 laps on this run after going 47 on the last run. Teammate Dalton Hayes also hitting the pit. So 2 C2X cars pit here, making their final service. Really the ones we're paying attention to is going to be Ian Montrose and Casey Graves. And there's your Charlie for Life in the chat. That link there, Tiltify, that is the one that fills the bar at the bottom. Goes to the official charity. Happy to help out Beta this year. Here comes Ian. He's going to pit before Casey Graves does. So Ian pits. At 145, Casey Graves stays out. In the short term, this will be a benefit to Ian. Daddy Dave also on the pit lane just ahead. Ian being the first one to pit of this two-car battle. He'll have fresher tires before Casey Graves does. Casey's going to have to either catch him or run long, and hope he has much fresher tires at the end. There's a lot of different ways you can play it, but he's going to stay out again. Lucas staying out as well. Lucas has 9 seconds over Casey Graves, so he's not too worried. Jonathan Legger on fresher rubber in the 28 Big C's diecast Chevrolet. He's trying to play it nice with Casey Graves. Doesn't want to mess with his race. Casey's trying to let him by. It's kind of awkward. It's like that. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. There you go. Jonathan Legger safely around Casey Graves. Lucas's lead through all that grew to 10.5 seconds. Only 2 cars left to pit outside of this battle. Lucas Weissman, Casey Graves. They also have Daniel Wallen, 47 laps. He's going to have to pit soon. And Russ Harold probably won't make it to the end of the race. He's got about 20 laps before he has to pit. But Russ Harold probably going to have to pit again. Here comes Casey out of second. Graves brings the True Speed Toyota down the pit lane. And Lucas, race leader, on the pit lane for the final stops. Should be good to go to the end from here. 40 laps. Thing we're going to be keeping a close eye on is where Ian Montrose and Casey Graves cycle out. And I guess we're not going to keep much of an eye on it, as Montrose is going to go right on around, as is Cliff Mullins. So Cliff was close enough. He clears Casey Graves. So just in that short amount of time, Casey now has 2 spots to make up and get back up to second. Let's see if Graves can do it. Daniel Wallens completed his service back out on the track. He has 27 seconds over Russ Harold, and Russ has to pit again, so should be able to hang on to that top 10 for Daniel Llewellyn. Legger all kind of by himself. He's got Lucas right behind him, but he's 5 laps down and 4 laps behind Scherer and 13 ahead of Llewellyn, so not a lot of opportunity for the 28 to change position. Yeah, Scripture and Scherer both 1 lap down, 7 seconds apart. Then a whole bunch of 3-second gaps up at the front. Lucas has 3 seconds over Ian Montrose, who has 3 seconds over Cliff Mullins, who has 3 seconds over Casey Graves, who has 3 seconds over Dalton Hayes. Whole top 5 separated by 3 seconds each. Not entirely. Lucas putting another lap on the 19. Russ Harold puts him 21 laps down. Russ had, of course, had that meatball. Had to come down and serve under green, and it took forever to repair that machine. Had one caution right at the start of the race. So our pole sitter, Travis Scripture, spun the tires and caused mayhem, damaging the machines of Carl Rotman. Mainly that one, and his own. A few other guys got a little bit of damage, but they were able to pull it back out. Get the fender squared away. Casey Graves reeling in Cliff Mullins, down to 2.6 on the gap there. He's got 36 laps to try and make something happen here. Lucas across the line one more time, leading here at Nashville Superspeedway. Just a handful of laps remaining, 35 and dropping. Montrose now 4.8 seconds behind as Lucas has fresher tires. Cliff not catching Ian as they're about equal. I think a 2-lap difference. Casey Graves is the one that's going to play into position changing up here. He is 1.8 now back from Cliff Mullins. Has 5-lap fresher tires than does Cliff Mullins, and 3 laps fresher than Ian Montrose as Graves and Hoyt's in pit at the same time. Lucas 5 seconds now over Ian. Ian still has the 3 seconds over Cliff. Casey reeling him in. See the view on board his machine. Get up on the roof can. Have a little fun. Black and orange machine straight ahead. That is Cliff Mullins in third. I believe they've caught the 28 of Jonathan Legger. Yep. Neo gets out of the way for Cliff. Way up the hill. Hopefully Casey can get clear of the 28 relatively cleanly. He's going to stay to the inside and allow Graves by on exit. Nice move there. Nice sportsmanship. Legger not on the same lap as anybody, letting people get through. Down to 8 tenths between Casey Graves and Cliff Mullins as the gap continues to dwindle. We'll look out of the back of the 37. Last lap, Casey Graves was 4 tenths quicker. My goodness. There goes Graves looking to the inside. Graves now peeking to the inside, coming out of turn number 4. And Casey's going to take over the 3rd spot, clears Cliff Mullins. Now we keep tabs on the lap count, timing and scoring, and see if anybody else is closing in for a battle, but a lot of these things are so spread apart, they could be tenths faster and it won't matter. Graves start to slowly pull away. Run you through the field. Lucas Weiss, your race leader, in front on this one in the 4 machine. Lucas had a relatively clean race so far. Nothing too egregious gone wrong. He's had such a lead, he hasn't had to put too much pressure on himself on and off the pit lane. Currently sits 8 seconds ahead of this man, Ian Montrose, running in that 2nd spot. Number 1 C2X Chevy. Ian has 3.6 seconds over Casey Graves. Casey running slightly quicker lap times, so we'll see if it matters. 34 laps to go. There is Casey Graves in the 0-1 as he just passed Cliff Mullins for that 3rd spot. Sitting on the podium right now. Cliff relegated to 4th, and at number 37, Curly's Guns and More Chevy. He's holding off current teammate Dalton Hayes. Dalton 8 seconds back in that National Fallen Firefighter Foundation FireHero.org Chevrolet. Dalton in the 5th spot. Dave Hoytsma. A nice quiet night for Dave. Saw him have one little off-track mowing the grass moment, but otherwise solid night for the 79. I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's Real Tree, right? Real Tree Ford. There we go. My brain just had a brain fart. Couldn't think of what that logo was anymore. Dave running 6th. Potts is kicking my butt a little bit today. Sorry, y'all. Travis Scripture running 7th. Travis 1 lap down. He's about 17 seconds behind Dave, so almost a half lap back. And Travis has 7 seconds over Jeremy Scherer in the 15. Jeremy's just gone 2 laps down. Russ Harold having a bit of a moment coming off of turn 4. It's up and out of the way of the 4. A bit extreme. Up and out of the way.
Hey, here's another thought. Remember a month and a half ago when they made the changes for blanking?
Someone's got their TV up too loud. 23 laps to go here at Nashville. Now it's 22. We gotta figure out who's being an open mic here.
Daniel Pauls are on the hot mic key.
It's the 32. Daniel Llewellyn being loud. 32. Daniel Llewellyn having a bit of a radio stuck open situation. The Mullins 4th, Hayes 5th, Dave 6th, Scripture 7th, Scherer's in 8th, Jonathan Legger in 9th, 6 laps down. So he had a beat ball he had to clear. Daniel Llewellyn, he got bored under one of the green flag stops and just parked it for about 20 laps and came back out. That was weird. And Russ Harold, 22 laps down, he had a lengthy meatball he had to fix under green. Lost 20 laps doing that and has lost a couple more since. Currently running in 11th. Out of the race, Carl Rotman in the 25. He'll finish 12th, and Travis Martin in the 63 will finish 13th. A mechanical failure on the 63 had some pedal issues, and I did not get a report from the 25. And that's where we are as we stand. Just a handful of laps, 20 to go. This is your leader. Mr. Lucas Hoytsma in the 4. Said he wanted a Kevin Harvick cosplay this season. I can respect it. $19 to go from Nashville Superspeedway in the Music City 250, part of the SIDECAR Gen 6 Sunday Cup Series lead. Russ Harold making his final stop. Remember, we said he wasn't going to quite make it to the end. Well, he's down on the pit lane to get that final stop done. Everyone else has already finished their final stops, unless the caution comes out. No close battles, no even hope for close battles, as Casey Graves actually losing around Ian Montrose. Five cars left on the lead lap after we've been green since basically lap 4. One caution at the very start of the race as Travis Scripture spun the tires as the pole sitter and got out of shape collecting Carl Rotman. Carl tried to stick with it with a damaged race car, and unfortunately was not able to keep up, didn't get the yellows, and that car was hired from the race early on. Lucas approaching one of the wild cards, Jonathan Legger. Neo stays up against the wall, nice and predictable. Hunter, however many road courses are in the real NASCAR schedule? I'm pretty sure that's what our schedule does. I don't know what I did for the week they go to Mexico because we don't have Mexico track. Ain't nothing else going on. Let me look. Matt sent me a huge list of things of who done it this week. Just the start. Just the start. Scrolling down looking for our schedule here. Section with the beers. Here we go. Schedule says we've got Chicago Street July 6th, Sonoma July 13th, and back-to-back weeks of road courses there in July. Watkins Glen August 10th, Charlotte Roval October 15th. So I think 4 road courses left. Yeah, should be 4 road courses left. Scott, it's been a breeze and it's been wonderful. Bill's excited for the 4 road coasters. I challenge you to do 4 ovals as well. How about that? Can you give me 8? Knowing your joy for road courses, I feel like Pocono would be good for you with the 3 triangle corners that are very different from one another. And you can pit without going a lap down if you're close to the front. You hate Pocono? That's shocking, given how road coursey it is. Well, I know you like short tracks. You got Iowa, August 3rd. Yeah, our Bristol night race. You're good at Homestead. That's the finale. Yeah, Richmond's in there. That would be your 4? That's fair. Fuck Super Speedway. See, that'd be me. I don't really like them. Fill Pocono with water. They do have the Long Pond Straight, right? Or is that Daytona? I think it's Pocono. Less than 12 to go. Also known as 11 to go. Cliff Mullen's still the only guy within a second of anybody. So he's trying to keep chase with Casey Graves, where Graves has fresher tires and keeping him at bay. Iowa, Richmond, Kansas, and Bristol for Bill. I'd take it. Kansas is fun. Like, I like that in most things. I like it in an IndyCar, I like it in a stock car, I like it in a truck. It's a fun place. Yeah, exactly. Rip the top most of the time. On restarts, you can rip the bottom for a little bit. I wouldn't stay down there. I was trying to save tire. 10 to go in Music City 250. Most of it has been well decided. We're running out the final laps. Lucas Hoysman leads by 9 seconds over Ian Montrose, running second. Casey Graves in third. The 2 Lucas Hoysman Motorsports machines in the top 3. And Cliff Mullins and Dalton Hayes means 3 C2X cars in the top 5. It's an all C2X and LHM top 5. Daddy Dave for LHM running in 6th, and really that's where the battle lies in the team points as well. The top 6 are all from the top 2 teams in the team standings. And Travis Scripture running in 7th. Jeremy Shearer for 10 tenths in the 8th spot. Jonathan Legger, Privateer in 9th. Daniel Llewellyn for Low Drag in 10th. Russ Harold runs 11th, another Privateer. Carl Rotman out of the race in 12th, and Travis Martin for 10 tenths out of the race in 13th. Cody Brown, happy birthday once again. His birthday today, out enjoying himself. Taking a provisional tonight for the 10 tenths team, so they'll at least all 3 score points on that team. I'll probably do the points update right after this over on the Twitch. We'll probably end the YouTube before we do that, but make sure you get to the Twitch, twitch.tv/DG Swiss if you want to see where the points stack up after the race. I'll hang around a short while to do that. And we'll probably jump back into the roleplay and keep the fun going for the night. 6 laps to go as Travis Scripture under attack. In the 4-car race leader Lucas Huisman wanting to put him another lap down. Would put our pole sitter 2 laps down. Still carrying that left front damage as he never had another caution to get it repaired after that lap 4 incident. Cliff's starting to reel in Casey Graves again, briefly. He had it down to about 3/10. Jump back up to 4. Tells me Cliff's not caring too much about the right front, just pushing it into the corners and seeing what he can get. You see Casey just ahead. Jonathan Leger gets down and way out of the way. Gets all the way down the apron trying to get out of the way of Graves and Mullins. Trying not to be a factor. 4 to go. 4 laps remaining in the Music City 250, and wouldn't you know it, there's 4 cars on 8 laps. Dalton Hayes gone a lap down. Lucas absolutely putting on a clinic. 10 seconds over Ian Montrose in second. He has 5 seconds over Casey Graves and Cliff Mullins. See if Mullins can pull off a move here with a handful of laps remaining. Let's close back in on the back bumper of the 0-1 Toyota. I just want to go in Casey Graves' paint booth and pull that 0-1 just a little bit taller. My OCD is real. And Denny Hamlin, 700 starts today. That's crazy. Crazy. Cliff keeping that pressure on as we see Lucas down the back stretch. Two more times around for this battle as they head into 1. Lucas will bring it off turn 4. See the white flag in the air. One more time around for race leader Lucas Huisman. We're going to go 1 caution race here. Back to the battle. Cliff Mullins has closed in on the 0-1 close enough to get him upset with the handling. Started the car wiggle a bit. And they get the white flag. 1 lap to go for the battle between those two. See Casey right around the bottom. See if Cliff can pick it up. He's going to try a short track line as he drops it down. Here comes Lucas to win the race. And Huisman gets it done. Back to the battle. Ian Montrose will pick up second unless something drastic happens. We'll stick with this here. Through 3 and 4. Cliff's running the top here. Trying to give it a shot on the outside line. Cliff powers it up off the corner, but it's going to be Casey Graves. Graves picks up third, holds off Cliff Mullins.
I think if we had a caution, you'd have really had something for me there.
Whatever, he's just trying to pad your fucking ass.
What was that? Couldn't hear you from 20 laps down.
Ooh.
Yeah. I took a fucking break from this boring ass race.
That he did. Lucas Huisman, your winner here in Nashville, is his dad's going to come up here. Here comes Daniel to hit him. Oh, he missed him. Where's Deal? Deal's had some issues with his mechanical stuff, wheels and pedals. So there is Lucas Huisman getting the win here in the 4s. They're going to burn him down around him. We'll pull him in for a chat if he actually has made his way back over. There he is in the waiting room. Lucas, DG, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, I tried to interview you mid-race and you weren't here.
Boring winner.
Yeah, we were watching the race. Forgot to come over. That's my bad.
I was like, he lets us talk under green. Where the hell is he? Man, congrats on the victory here. You absolutely put a spanking on him. We had a race almost go green. You know, lap 4 caution still has to count that, but it was pretty fun, it seemed like. How was it out there for you?
Oh, yeah, it's, you know, all this horsepower made it a lot of fun to drive. Definitely not your normal Gen 6 experience, so had a blast tonight. I'm glad it had some horsepower because without spread out, it wouldn't have been very fun. So it was a ton of fun to drive. The car was fun to drive here. This track is awesome. So it was a really fun night here in Sidecar.
Yeah, but you cut the horsepower and you make the spoilers 6 feet taller, then everyone's bunched up and on top of each other, and you have the yellows, and then Daniel would be happy.
Yeah, that's great. NASCAR, would love that.
Exactly. Parody, on top of each other, make it look like there's racing.
Yeah.
Oh man, congrats on the win here. I'm glad you enjoyed the horsepower. Sorry it wasn't at night, but you asked me a little too late.
Hey, the high temps made it fun. It was just blinding me the whole race. This concrete was super bright.
Right? You need like a night mode for this shit sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congrats on that victory. You got the friends, family, sponsor shout-outs, and then I'll ask you some more questions, so don't leave right away.
Okay. Well, first shout out to Quinn 712 Brakes. You for broadcasting, putting this on. Everybody for racing tonight. Everybody on my team. And I think that's about it.
All right. First things first. Tell us anything new that you want to tell us about first the Gen 6 stuff on Wednesday. Anything new going on there?
Well, Wednesdays, next gen, schedule, getting closer to coming out, so be on the lookout for that one. And then the 712 Brakes Gen 4 series on them Thursday nights. Again, the schedule coming out soon, but be on the lookout as soon as those Gen 4 cars come out in a week and 2 days. It's crazy that's how close we are. So definitely going to be some more stuff going on with that, and I'm super excited for all that.
TM4, so there you go, brand new series, and new sponsor for you on Wednesday as well. So lots going on for the stuff Lucas is running for us on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So we appreciate you for all of your work there, and congrats on the victory here in Nashville, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Appreciate it, man. See you.
Lucas Weitzma getting that top spot. Now we'll go track down Mr. Ian Montrose, who finished second. I just stole him mid-sentence, it sounds like. Hi, Ian.
Hello, no, me and Casey were just talking about tire deg throughout the stints.
Yeah, how was it out there? Is it burn off pretty good with the hot track temps?
I felt like it was pretty consistent. The car was predictable. It was just a lot tighter and looser at the same time. But yeah, we just took Casey and I took different lines, so we were just talking about how it affected our race a little differently. So it was a lot of fun though. This car on this track. It was a lot of fun. I didn't have anything for Luke. Absolutely fucking nothing for Lucas.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was checked out. But good job to him tonight. But yeah, it sounded like Casey and Cliff made it interesting towards the end, which was cool. But for me, I just try to keep it clean all race, and yeah, a good solid P2.
Yeah, great points tonight, leading your team there in the points, and the whole battle between Lucas Weitzman Motorsports and C2X is heating up. All 6 of you were in the top 6 tonight, so that's fun.
Yeah, if you add up all our points together, maybe we'll have a shot at beating them,
Exactly. All right, well, congrats on this P2. You got the Friends Family sponsor shout-outs before I let you get out?
Yeah, well, I just want to thank my C2X teammate, Cliff, tonight. We had a good fun night. We had an enjoyable time. Thanks to everybody else for coming out as well, like Casey, Lucas, Dalton, Travis, a few others. Thank you for them. Thanks to Ethan for sponsoring the shindig, yourself for broadcasting, and to everybody who was watching.
I was really waiting for you to read the entire 12 men that showed up that weren't you.
No, I mean, it wouldn't have taken long, but yeah, no. I was not going to do that. I mean, yeah. Oh, Neo. Thank you,
There you
Neo.
go. There you go. Neo, Jeremy Shearer, and I think Russ Harold, Daredevil Waller, and Carl Rotman. And those are the only ones you missed.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys.
There we go. We got them all in. Congrats on that P2, man. Get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right. Take care, DG. Bye.
That's Ian Montrose bringing home P2. Now we drag in Mr. Casey Graves. Casey brought it home third with a thrilling battle with Cliff Mullins there at the end. How was your battle there with Cliff, and what was going through your mind as you were trying to hold him off?
Well, what's going through my mind is my right front was absolutely cooked, and then just trying to protect the bottom. I thought he was going to shove his nose in there one time, and I think he didn't have a big enough run. But yeah, I mean, a pretty good race. It got kind of boring there, and I made a bunch of mistakes looking over at the TV watching the cup race. But
I'm sure you weren't the only one. Congrats on the strong run there. You got your friends, family, and sponsors shout outs for your podium here.
Saw the guys over at True Speed, and then guys at Low Drag for let me race one tonight. Lucas and Daniel, Dave, and I think that was it.
Absolutely beautiful race car tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I pulled out the old camo car that I ran last week.
I didn't get to talk to you about it last week, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned it this week.
Yeah, well, I didn't feel like switching it, and then I'll make it a little throwback because I think I ran this scheme at Nashville CTC.
I mean, it's only a month away from July 4th. You can just run it all summer. Nobody's going to buy.
Yeah, I might just run it all summer. I thought
There you
about
go.
changing it up a bit. Dude.
All right, man. Congrats on that P3. You got the friends, family, and sponsor shout-outs other than the ones we already mentioned. I know you mentioned the teams there.
That's about it. You guys, of course, for putting on the series, and Ethan for sponsoring.
You always put Motive on your
Go
cars.
get
I
'em.
thought you might want to mention them.
It's just my RC stuff. They don't care.
Fair enough. Congrats on the podium finish here, and hopefully we'll see you back here on Thursday.
All right, thank you.
Casey Graves bringing it home in P3, and that will wrap up our top 3 interviews. Let's look at our final results here before we disappear for the evening. Get things moved around, and that goes, this goes, that goes, and there we go. Results up on your screen. We really need to update that logo, but we'll work on it soon. Lucas Hoysma, Ian Montrose, Casey Graves, those got your interviews here for the top 3. Cliff Mullins, the last car on the lead lap, had a heck of a battle there with Casey Graves coming to the line and just narrowly missing out on the podium. Dalton Hayes brings it home in 5th, and Dave Hoyts was 6th. The top 6 are all in that team battle between Lucas Hoytsma Motorsports and C2X. He wasn't in the channel, that's how he remembers RIP. That's true. Poor Dalton. Travis Scripture, Jeremy Shearer, Jonathan Legger, and Daniel Wallen round out your top 10. A short field tonight as Daniel, 20 laps down, gets a top 10. And then you have the final few. Russ Harold, 23. He stuck with it. Carl Rotman and Travis Martin fell out early. Rotman due to damage to the race car in a series that doesn't have a fast repair. And Travis Martin, unfortunately, had some pedal issues, went too far behind to catch back up in his opinion, and went out in 13th. Thanks for everyone for coming out tonight. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week. Hopefully we can get some more cars out there. If you got some friends you want to join us, let us know. Check us out at dgsracing.com. Click the Bed Red Snake. That'll get you to our Discord where you can sign up to run any of our leagues, including this one, for free. We appreciate you being part of our community. Thanks so much for watching tonight, and that is all from Nashville. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next week, and also on Thursday for our SRX Race of Champions stuff during the off season. We'll try that one more week, and if anyone pisses me off in the slightest, that'll be the last one, I guarantee you. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. We appreciate you, and we will see you in the next event. There we go. That wraps that up. See, that's how I would do it, Hayes. I would do both. Just watch.